Welcome to another segment of the Fuel Report. I'm CJ Goder. I'm joined by Mr. Mins 101 here, Alex Allen, and our guest for today's interview, Angelgrime, our Assistant Esports Director. How are you doing, Angel?
I'm doing pretty great. How about you?
I mean, I'm decent. I'm tired. I got to get up early tomorrow, but I feel like we're all tired. It's the time of year where, exams, final assignments, internships, all the good stuff is sort of getting plopped into everybody's lap at once.
You know what I just love though? On Sunday night, we run some Apex, and we're all up until, what time was that, 2 in the morning, when we all should have been in bed
already? What time did we have to get up the
Yeah.
next day?
Yeah.
What time were we up the next day, Alex?
Oh, we had to be up at 5 a.m.
Yeah. So we got some Apex runs in, and, I'm sure Angel's shoulders might still be a little bit sore. How bad are me and Alex at Apex?
No, not terrible.
Not terrible. At least she's nice,
If we won a game, that means,
We did win a game before we started recording, so
It's true.
Yeah.
maybe I'm not the problem here.
I think I was.
No.
But we did have a second place finish.
Yeah, we did.
We vehemently tried for
They kind of
drop-ins.
bullied us at the end there.
Yeah.
Bullied us into the ring.
Okay, so turns out in BRs, the ring is a problem when you ignore it time after time after time, game after game after game.
Really?
Absolutely crazy, but
But then you see some shooting and it's like, they can wait.
You always got time, if you think about it.
I mean, Angel, how long have you actually been running Apex though?
I've seriously played for a year and a half now, I guess. I mean, I started playing, I remember Arenas dropped, and that's how I got into it, because I was a Valorant player. And I was like, oh, Arenas is kind of similar, and then I slowly transitioned to Battle Royale and realized that's so much better. So much better.
Okay, it is so much better, but, I actually liked Arenas on Apex.
You do at first.
Yeah, well, it's a little redundant, and then if you get to a level, it's just
boring.
Mozambiques on repeat, but, I got so much hate for the Arenas on Apex. People hate them. Well, they're gone now, I guess, right?
I think Arenas is still in there.
Oh, is it? I thought they were pulling it for that little, because that new mode we played,
Yeah, those are they have the fluctuating arcade modes now, which is fun. Like gun run, control, team deathmatch.
They had to do it though, you know what I mean?
See, that's a whole new ball game for me. I used to play when you get the Peacekeeper and you had to find the precision choke for it.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Yeah. I was day one of Apex.
Apex has done, in my opinion, a way better job than something like Fortnite. You get through 3-4 seasons of a great game, but then you sort of have to, it almost felt like at that point they had to pick a demographic. You know what I mean? And they sort of chose that younger generation, and they were constantly turning over concepts, pumping out, because, realistically, we're all getting freaking old. You know what I mean? We get used to a sort of gun, we get used to a play style, and we're sort of set in our ways, whereas these young fellas can adjust instantaneously. They want something new, fresh. They get bored. You hear it, and it's it was Melon talking on the Apex stream actually for your tournament the other day, and it's you blink in Fortnite now, and the Taj Mahal's built in front of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's so many changes have happened in Fortnite over time, and Apex, I just feel like they've done a much better job of progressively shifting, aggressing. They don't add stuff outrageously, and even the new champs, the new legends, they do a pretty good job.
They're pretty balanced. Everyone is pretty balanced that gets added, honestly.
I like Newcastle, Ash, all most recent new champs I can think of. They were all fun to play.
Yeah.
They didn't break the game, and so many games struggle with introducing new legends, and they're just absolutely busted. And I can only really think of Seer, who caused any big problems off the drop. That Seer ult initially was impossible to deal with. A rat's worst nightmare. You ask me, and I love a good conservative game of Apex because I can't shoot something to save my life.
You know what, though? Okay, changing things up a little bit here. Angel, you're the assistant director for Fuel.
I am.
Why did you actually consider on wanting to take a position like that?
It's actually so funny. How I found out about this was I was streaming a lot. I was consistently streaming every day, and then this guy who raided me so happened to also go to Fanshawe. randomly, and he was like on the Valorant team, and he's like, you know, we have like an esports club, right? Because I was thinking, like, I used to be part of like I was the R6 manager at my old school, and I was like, yeah, I want to be part of this again. And he's like, well, they literally just posted job postings, so you could sign up. And I signed up, and it went well, and I haven't spoken to him since, but it was great for him to introduce me to, you know, Fuel.
Who was that?
His name was like, oh my god, I can't even remember, but he was like just a sub on the Valorant team. He was pretty good. He was like on Mortal or something, but he like dropped out, and I haven't heard from him since. It was like, no idea. I can't even remember it all. There's like an X in it, maybe.
The unknown Valorant player that twisted fate to ensure Angel ends up here today. You know, once you sort of, well, I guess just by like, call it a stroke of luck, call it universal fate, call it whatever you may, you end up in this sort of position. What's it been like, you know?
I mean, I've enjoyed it more than like any other job. It's like great because you get to like, first of all, you like work with like people who are like-minded. You like them. I get to work with games, which is like my biggest passion because, you know, I'm also in VGD. So it's been awesome. Like it's like I get so much like freedom to like kind of do what I want with my position. So I really like it.
And VGD, video game design.
Yep.
How has working in esports with the Fuel impacted your perspective on that sort of education and that career path?
I mean, like, even though they're in the same realm, it's just like entirely different things to like make a game and like create and like play it, or even like run like a club for it. It's just like, and then the workloads together, it's like a lot. But it's like I've been coping with it. Like it's just a heavy program.
This your last year?
Next year will be my last year, going into third year. 2 out of 3.
Would you do another program? Like, what's your? Do you know what you want to do now, or are you just kind of like going with the flow?
I don't know. Like, I really do like working in esports. If I could continue having like jobs in esports, like that would be awesome. But it is definitely a hard industry to stay in. So
for your position, I feel like what are some of the things that entail for your job?
Well, how it started is like it's become something like so different. Like when I first started, it was like I was doing everything social media on my own entirely. Like I created the Instagram, I created the Twitter, I created the TikTok. I was the one making the content and posting like every day. So that was like 90% of the job. But like now it's that I have like a content team who can help me out a lot. I have like, I can do more things, you know. It's a lot more like working with teams, like running events. That's probably like my favorite thing to do, and people really like it. And yeah, just like creating the content, working with the content team a lot on that kind of stuff.
And what kind of actually really brought you around to like do more things like that? Like I know you were saying you were doing Twitch Fuel streaming, you do this video game design, but what really else is kind of just bringing that inspiration around?
By that, do you mean just inspiration to work in esports?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, I mean, I've literally played video games since, no joke, since I was 3 years old. Like probably like I've been on the Nintendo 64 grind from day one. Like it's been my thing. Like I had the Game Boy DS, and then, you know, I didn't play a shooter till like 2017, but like everything, like games have always been like what I've been passionate about. And actually before this I did like cosmetology, which is like, for me, it's like my 2 things I really like are like makeup and games. So I did a makeup program, now I'm doing a game program. So it's like just this is just totally like what I've always been passionate about. And it's like, it's actually really interesting being in like a leadership position, because not something I've ever had before.
Yeah, and especially in around the gaming community too. And I mean, for you saying now that you've grown up a lot around this, how has that actually gaming community been welcoming to you?
I mean, you know, I would say there's definitely a lot of people, usually faceless people, who are just, you know, super toxic towards like women in gaming. But it's like, especially in Fuel, it's super welcoming. Like, you know, it's nice to like be able to find some friends to like 5-stack with, play with, so you're not going to really get that toxicity. But like when I was a kid growing up, honestly, like I have an older brother, like no one found it like weird that I like games and stuff, but there definitely is those like toxic people that will just like totally make you feel bad, especially if you're like solo queuing or something. Totally don't recommend solo queuing or speaking as a woman in a game lobby.
Now, you know, you're sort of talking about how you've always experienced this. How has, now that you're, an assistant esports director, you're really immersed in the community. You play games, you host events, you get to talk to a lot of people who have shared similar experiences to you. How has the community changed, developed, progressed, or regressed in that sense over the years, in your opinion?
I mean, I guess I think a big thing is like when you're younger, you don't even notice things that much. But it's like literally from day one when I started like playing like online games and stuff, it's like I was like, I should not speak. Like you should not speak in an online lobby if you want to have like a good time, because like maybe you'll get lucky, get some good people, but it's like, especially if you're alone, you're gonna run into people who are just like, this is like my moment to like exclude people. And I think people don't realize that a lot of the reasons like women don't play games is because they don't get they go on, they try to talk to people, and immediately it's like makes you feel like terrible to talk to these people.
And, I just feel like that's something where like people don't even think about it. You know what I mean? Like, it always sort of, for me, when you get to a conversation like this, the easiest example you can give is like a Black Ops 2 lobby.
Yeah.
Where just like you, the second your ears touch the lobby, you're going to hear the most heinous things you can think of. And it's just like, your name's not attached to it. Your face isn't attached to it. And people just go off to town. And it's like, how do we sort of break that culture,
I mean, it's just like, I guess slowly, like I'd say, of course, like things have definitely gotten better over the years. I'm sure if you're like, go back to like 2014, you join a COD lobby as a girl, you're going to get bashed. But, nowadays you are going to find like a lot of people you can just like join in on, and just no one's going to treat you any different. And it's like not as toxic. So it's definitely progressed, I would say. And like, even with like story-based games and stuff, there's definitely like more female characters and stuff, which is really cool. Like with games like Last of Us, which has a series now, like a TV series now, which is pretty cool. But yeah.
Okay, this Last of Us, sorry to tangent you, Alex.
It's
I know
okay.
you're trying to keep the structure. The Last of Us, I've heard so much about this thing.
So good.
I didn't know what it was. Like literally, I swear it was like a book or something maybe, and like people are like, no, it's a video game, and they turned it into a TV. Is the show good?
Oh. Oh my God.
So good.
The show's good.
Game's better, but show's
It
good.
is, yes. The game is better, yes.
Is it like a campaign game, or like what are we talking here?
Survival, but story.
Yeah.
Okay, so it has a good storyline in the game as well.
Yeah.
Is this like an extension of the game's storyline, part of it, a video adaptation of the game's storyline?
So you want to explain it, Angel?
Sorry. So can you repeat the question?
So like the game, is this TV show's storyline, is it like matching the games? Is it progressing the games?
It's just exactly the game, pretty much.
Okay.
Like it's literally, you can find direct scenes from the game replicated in the TV show. So they just did like a perfect replication. So it's really fun to watch.
And they did a good job of it?
Good job, yeah.
Yeah, they replicated like a lot of scenes. Pretty close, I have to say. It was pretty.
Like I've seen some side by sides.
Okay.
Crazy.
I have to, because I've heard so much about it. I feel like I'm the one missing out. Everybody's watching that new TV show, and you show up to work, and they're all like, "You catch last night's episode?" And I'm like, I have no clue what's going on here.
I'll sell you on this. Do you want me to give you one little
you
thing about this? You will actually see a giraffe.
What?
That's true.
There's a giraffe in it.
Okay, you know what? Maybe I'm sold then. maybe that's what I need to hear. I'm just sitting here like, are we gonna have to say spoiler alert? Like, are we gonna have to throw that, edit that in? Okay, no, I don't think that's a spoiler. I think everybody will be okay.
I think that's okay to share.
Yeah, hopefully everyone's been up to date to it. I mean, the game's been around for 10 years too, so.
Okay, so I didn't even know that either. So like, this game's been around
old.
for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, when did it come out? Is this like a PC game or?
PlayStation.
Really? Was it an exclusive?
Yeah.
And they just added it to PC, I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Or maybe they are soon, but.
Learning something new every day. Well, speaking of old games and stuff, what's your favorite game all time?
All time? There is a time where I would say Last of Us. I don't think so anymore. I do really like Apex, but I don't know if I want to say that's my favorite game, because that's like an FPS game that can like totally change in a year. Honestly, I am a big fan of the Life is Strange series.
Really?
Big fan. I have a tattoo and everything.
No way.
Yep.
Honestly, I like just started playing Life is Strange,
Really?
so and, you know it's quite interesting.
It's really good. Like it's just like when it came out, it was like something games have never done before. Like this, like it's like about like an 18-year-old girl who likes taking pictures. It was like, oh, okay, this is someone I can relate to. This is really cool. You know, when you're like, I was like 14 or something playing this, it's like totally different from the other games you've ever seen. So I think that's why I like it so much.
I'm like recently playing a bit of like the older one. Did you play the, like? I know there's a newer one out. Is it on strictly PlayStation or is it PC?
Oh no, it's
out on
everything. PC,
Yeah.
Xbox. I definitely first one best of the series. Like they made like 2 and 3, which are like different characters and stuff, and it's cool, but it just does nothing matches the first one.
Oh.
Honestly, never even heard of it before.
What?
Yeah, I've never heard of it before. So like, and I like to think I don't live under a rock. So like,
Are you just like not into story-based games? Is this not your thing?
that might be a contributor to it.
Because that's literally what all the games we're talking about are the story ones.
It's just like you really got to commit to those. It is, like for the way I look at it, like for example, I bought Red Dead 2,
Yeah.
and it took me a year and a half, 2 years even to start it. Because like with story-based games, it's like I want to get the full immersive experience. I want to fully dive in, and if I can't like dedicate the right amount of time to it, like I can't get into it. I can't get into it, and like I want to. You know what I mean? Really got to sink my teeth in. So I'm just so bad at story games.
Yeah.
I also just suck at them low key. Like, you know, you'd think they're common sense, and it's just like, well, I just never get it done.
Yeah. Like I know whenever I do get some free time on my hands again, I'm probably buying Elden Ring.
Oh,
I've heard,
you
I've
have
heard so
to.
many
Sink
good
my
things.
teeth into
So
it. Yeah.
good.
My brothers
oh my
begged
god.
me.
How could I forget? Favorite game of all time? Dark Souls 3. That's the
Oh,
other tattoo I
okay.
have.
Oh my god.
I just totally blanked when you said it.
What's Dark Souls?
Oh my god,
Oh.
no, you're lying. You're joking, right?
All right, CJ. We gotta cut you.
You do live under a rock.
No,
You do.
I represent a
Patrick,
different
man?
esports demographic. I'm like, I lived under the Riot Rock for a long
Okay,
time.
that's
So
fair.
like League of Legends really stole my attention span for the better
Nothing
part
else
of a
exists.
decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then I played sports games. So it's like
Oh,
between those two, it's like, it was hard. I know there's like no hate for any other games. Just League of Legends, hate for that. That's a toxic game. Frickin' toxic community. Toxic, it steals all your time. Great game though.
Terrible
Great game,
for your
Riot.
mental health.
Terrible for your mental health.
But
Great frickin' game, Riot. Great game, bro.
Oh my
That thing's
God.
addicting.
They're just so good at making the addictive games.
They really are.
Like
They know what
you
they're doing.
hate it, but you keep coming back.
And they're balancing, like, okay, hot take here. Not even a hot take in my opinion. Riot, best game developers for balance. Easily.
Maybe.
I think, like, in
think
my
so?
opinion, yeah, I do. I think because they're able to fluidly change the metas without breaking the game. When you
Okay.
think about League, like, when you have over 100 champs, that's a lot to worry
That's a
about. They're
lot.
constantly balancing items, changing, adding, removing. And, like, I've never played the game in ranked and felt like I've lost a game ever because a champion's broken. I've lost because I was worse than the player across from me. Every single time. That's why I lost.
That's respectable.
You know what I mean?
That's respectable to think because I know so many people who just.
Like no, it's just like I don't believe like anywhere in League I've never experienced something where it's like, oh my god, that champion's so broken. Like it's like, no, I fed him 10 kills earlier in the game and that's why this is happening. You know what I mean? So
Okay. I am thinking though here, since we've been talking a lot about video games, a lot more of just the design side for that. What is kind of the main direction that you're looking to get into for gaming
Game design?
for
Oh.
jobs?
Honestly, it's like such like a difficult market. I'm like, I will take any job, anything. Like, there's the things I like. Obviously, I really like texturing. I'm like so into asset building and texturing assets. Like, went into this thinking character design would be the best part, but no, it's like assets are so fun for some reason. And environment is also pretty fun, but for some reason, it's just like making like a mossy rock, like an old sword. That's cool. That's my thing. That's what I would like to do for like any company. But like, we've learned like a lot of stuff, but overall, I like 3D modeling and texturing the most.
honestly, that's super dope. Any job, would you work anywhere?
Pretty much. Like, if to start off, yeah. But like, I would be super down to like just map building sounds so fun. Like, imagine making the next Apex map
That
or
would be
something.
dope.
Or just making a rock in the next Apex map. That would be cool.
That'd be your rock, you know what I mean? Like you'd always know
I
that's
would
your
go to
rock
that rock
there.
and be like, that is my texture right there.
Yep.
I'd like secretly carved my initial in the bottom.
Yeah, that'd actually be so cool if you just found some weird angle in the shadow to hide it in there. Like, I don't know, honestly, the thought of designing a map for like anything would be so cool. Like, imagine being the person that designed Summoner's Rift, Blood Moon,
Oh my God,
freaking the Warzone map, like any of them.
And people just play on them every day. Like, that's your thing.
That's hard.
And I mean, trying to actually get into this industry yourself, like, how do you feel like just sort of eyeballing it? Like, do you think there might be any struggles coming into that, or?
Oh, totally. Like, but it's like for my mental, it's just like I might as well just keep trying, like keep doing my best until I'm like forced to quit. Like, even like the program's hard, like just like the classes are hard. I love doing it, but it's so much workload, and it's like you can fall behind so easily. But I'm just like, I just keep going at it because it's like there's so many people are so talented, super competitive. But even with that, like I might as well still keep trying because it's what I want to do.
Of course. I mean, that's kind of for all of us at the end of the day where we're trying to get to. CJ, you have anything? No, you're blanked. I mean, since we were kind of talking about Dark Souls and all that stuff, is that kind of the main direction you were hoping for a job?
Yeah, I think that would be sick. I mean, I remember like first semester we had to like make game ideas. I made this one game idea like with my group, and I'm like, this is actually like the coolest game idea I could have think of. It's like a Dark Souls like esque game where you play as like a princess who goes undercover as a knight to like and has to like kill all like the 7 deadly sins or something. It was such a cool idea. I'm like, I hope one day I can actually make this a game. One day. Yeah, it sounds, I'm like, I don't feel like I'm not coming up with a better idea. Like, this is it. This is the final goal. Like, I definitely like that genre, but, you know, if I have to, like, 3D model, like, Messi in the next FIFA or something, I'll do it if I have to, you know.
Well, if you have to.
If I have to,
If
you
you
know.
have to. They're forcing me to do it.
You know what? I will say, though, like, for thinking on the fuel side again, that direction, the position you have, and even just more like women and other diverse gamers that are trying to come and join the community, what are some like things that you would mention for them that are trying to consider coming in? Some wise words.
Just be like confident. Like, don't think of it as like you have a disadvantage or you're not going to fit in because, you know, it's like dominated by people who aren't like you. Just feel confident, and like other people will kind of feel the same vibe, and just like you have to like know that even if you feel like you don't fit in, you can make yourself fit in. You know, like it's totally doable. I think, like, although it's like intimidating at first, like once you just actually get involved with it, you'll realize that most people are actually like really welcoming, and like they don't want to exclude you. Like, you're gonna face those challenges. There's gonna be some people you run into and you're like, you know, they aren't giving off the best vibes, but that's just kind of how it is. But I think, totally just feel confident about it. You know, just don't let other people stress you out to wanting to join that or make you like, don't let like the fear of people judging you make you not want to get into something like Fuel or esports, anything along those lines, because totally, like, at first, I was totally nervous to meet everyone. That was, like, when from online to in person, I was, like, so stressed out. But, like, now I'm, like, super comfortable with everyone. I'm super, like, comfortable here. So I think you just have to get over that initial barrier.
And honestly, like, the community, like, especially, I can't speak for every esports community everywhere, but, like, I know here at the Fuel, like, we're a pretty diverse, open, friendly community.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, like, I can totally understand that stress or anxiety sort of dipping your toes in the water, but, like, you know, we don't bite. We're all pretty friendly, you know, and we all talk a lot as well, you know what I mean? It's just a pretty easy place to get immersed and get comfortable. So, and you know what? We'd love to just continue growing the community as well, you know what I mean? Inviting more people to join, because it's a space you, like, I love the point you made earlier in the podcast where it's just like, there are a ton of women out there, I'm sure, who would love to get more involved in esports, and just like the sort of stigma or concept of things they may face may inhibit them from pursuing that opportunity. You know what I mean? You can just only hope it gets to a point where, like, at least everybody can get an opportunity to try it, see if it is for them or not.
Absolutely.
Totally. Like, I feel like you just gotta like embrace that there's people like that, and it's not something that's get fixed in a day. It's something that gets fixed like over. You can't just change a culture like that entirely. You just have to accept it, you know, kind of ignore people who are like that, and like embrace the people who are like positive instead. And it's, you know, there's literally, no matter what you do, there's always gonna be those like negative people and like factors that are going to push you back, but I think it's literally the best advice is to like ignore it.
Push through.
Because it won't change in a day, but literally you just existing in this space is like a step forward.
You existing in this space is like a step forward. Sitting here as the assistant director, I would say that is definitely the way to put it. Now, I think we're good to wrap things up here.
Yep.
Okay, and on that note, I think we're good to wrap things up here. I was CJ Goder. Thank you to our assistant director, Angelgrime, for joining us. Thanks to Alex Allen, Mr. Mins here for helping as well and co-hosting. And when we come back, we'll have another segment of the Fuel Report for you.
Hopefully we can run back and
get carried again?
Yeah. Man, I need to play Apex.